Log date 1963. It appears that some clod has replicated me using a primitive three-dimensional earthling building toy. Further updates as follows. Why am I talking to myself? Clod! Hey everybody, this is Dave from Brick 101, and today I am showing off Lego Peridot from Steven Universe. This is a custom model I designed, and I'm going to talk about it. That's basically what these videos are, me talking about Lego things. So here we go. Lego Peridot, Steven Universe. Dun 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 dun. It's been a while, huh? I have to say, I am a huge fan of Steven Universe. It might be my favorite TV show ever, and I have my audience here at Brick 101 to thank for that. I didn't know what Steven Universe was until McFarlane Toys started doing their Steven Universe sets, and I covered them at Toy Fair and didn't know the difference between Peridot and Amethyst and so on, and so people told me what a great show it was, and I started watching it, and it changed my life. I love it, and I want to build all the crystal gems and all the characters out of Lego. It's like one of the only things that gets me excited these days about building is the thought of recreating the crystal gems. I started with Peridot because she's basically the smallest of the main characters. Her, Amethyst, and Steven, I guess, being the shorty squad, could all qualify there. But yeah, so decided to build her, oh gosh, I want to say it was back in January. It's been a while. And was really happy with the way she turned out. And yeah, I am not going to show how I built her step by step, but I am going to try to show as best I can the cool techniques and stuff I used in building her. Okay, so here's a wide view of Peridot. She is built to what I call action figure scale. It's basically if I use these 1x1 eye pieces as the eyes of characters, kind of how big would they be relative to that. That's kind of my action figure scale. Key thing about Peridot is getting the color scheme and the shapes right. Her triangle head was particularly difficult, especially since this is three-dimensional and it's supposed to look like a triangle from the side and the back as well as the front. So trying to figure out what three-dimensional shape her head actually is based on a two-dimensional cartoon was interesting. There are some official merchandise of Peridot, and I used one of those as a reference. Yeah, and so yeah, you can just see her posability. So her head can turn all the way around, and her arms can go up and down. That's really about it. Because of the color palette being used here, dark green, especially on her outfit, is a pretty limited color. So the ability to make things twistable, like her waist or her legs, was too much for me to figure out just for this build. I'm really proud with how she turned out, though. I think really captures the look, the color scheme, the overall shape, all those good things. So let's start by taking a closer look at her head, probably the most complicated part of the build, maybe one of the most complicated little things I've ever built. There's a lot of studs going in different directions here, so if we pull her apart this way, take these off. So the back of her head, which, you know, has a lot of triangles on it, a lot of slope pieces. So this is basically all a studs up build right here. So you can see it's 5 wide, I don't know, X long, 6 tall, transitions from yellow to lime there. So that's all kind of a piece. Now, the front of her head comes apart in sections. So each of her kind of vertical half triangle hair pieces use some slopes, 1x2, 1x3, 1x1, with a 1x2 bracket on them. So 2 of those that are mirrored. And then those are connected by some 1x2 plates in lime with a white jumper plate on top and her gem up there. And then things flip around, so the eyes are on some 1x1 bricks with a stud on the side, and then her entire mouth is built upside down, so a 2x2, some little cheese slopes on there for her chin, and yet another brick with stud on the side there. So then this whole piece, the back of her head, only attaches by this one point way down there. And then, to make it even more complicated, for the bottom of her hair in the front, we've got these brackets. Again, these are 1x2 yellow brackets. They've got some cheese slopes on them, and then they've got a jumper plate. So there's two of those that are mirrored, and those connect into the back of her hair, but are on the front part, because I really wanted to get that signature shape of the triangle that comes down, and then it kind of goes back in. What is that? Like a diamond shape, actually. You know, but she's not a diamond. Spoiler alert, Peridot is not the fifth diamond, lime green diamond, Dorito diamond. So moving down, her torso is, similar to the bottom of her head, built entirely upside down. So these are all just pretty much plates through the middle here. Plates, some jumpers there to do the 3 wide to 2 wide transition, and some bricks with stud on the side down there for connecting the legs, and we've got some up here for connecting the arms. Arms are a jumper plate and then just this curvy slope and another jumper plate. Pretty simple arms. Didn't want to overcomplicate that. The legs are built sideways / upside down, so there's a whatchamacallit, bracket, curvy slope, then upside down ending in tile, so she doesn't connect to the floor, and just one of those on each side. So yeah, I know some of you probably will want a full how to build on this or full instructions, but as I'm returning to YouTube, I'm changing up the way I'm doing that. I have a whole video on that. You can press the little eye icon up in the corner if you want to see video about me coming back to Brick 101 and kind of talking about how I'm not going to be doing instructions or set reviews. I'll be doing more videos though. I'm coming back, so nice to be back. Oh, the other thing I built for her was the little tape recorder. So this is just kind of a 2x3 base. We've got another one of those 1x2 brackets, but this time in light gray for getting some buttons on the side, some printed tiles on the front for the little tape deck and the speaker, and then a downward 1x2 bracket here to get a button on the top. If this little exposed stud bothers you, you're not alone. It also bothers me, but there was no real good way to avoid that. As for attaching it to her hand, I've got this lime 1x1 plate with circle clip plus a circular 1x1, and that fits onto this slope, taking out the jumper plates that's normally there. She kind of has a little hand that looks like it's grabbing it. You can do it that way. Sad thing about that is she can't really pose it appropriately near her mouth. I mean, you can do that. So the other thing I did for the thumbnail of this video is I took one of these T-hinges, another one of those lime 1x1 plates, stuck that into the back hole here, and then connected it like so. That, you know, looks weird because she's suddenly got a metal joint, but that allows her to put her arm out to the side and maybe get a more natural looking positioning on the tape recorder. So yeah, that's Peridot from Steven Universe. I'm also have started working on an amethyst, roughly the same size. Still needs a lot of work. I just got a whole bunch of lavender pieces in so I could fill out her hair, and I need to figure out her shape overall. This was just kind of like a rough sketch. I don't often show my work in progress things, but I'm thinking as I come back, I might do more work in progress stuff. So an idea I had was just live streaming one day while I try to build Amethyst, like finish her. So you'd see the entire process of when I try things and discard them, as opposed to just final product. So let me know if that's something you want to see. Again, I'm trying new things now that I'm coming back to YouTube so that I can stay invested and keep making fun content. It won't all be Lego content, but Lego content will still be part of the mix. And I'm just going to make these things dance because that's what I do with Lego. Claude!